what's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to the top 5 meta loadouts that you need to be using after the latest update to Call of Duty Warzone, because they have gone and nerfed some of the most used weapons in the game right now, and I want to make sure that you're not using those in your loadouts. Now, just so you're aware of exactly what they've been doing, burst assault rifles have been absolutely destroyed. The DG56 and the FR556 have had their max damage reduced. The DG went from 40 to 32 damage, so you can no longer 3 burst kill an opponent. If they're fully plated, you have to at least hit them with 4 bursts. The FR556 can still do 3 as long as you get pretty much all headshots, but the fire rate is way worse. So take those out of your loadouts and put them in the bin. The battle rifles also got hit. The Bas-B, which was pretty much the undisputed full auto king of Warzone 3, but it is still, don't panic too much, because I'd say it is still meta. It's just had its max damage range reduced from 39 down to 35, and then its minimum damage reduced to 25 from 27. So it's not as drastic as the burst assault rifles. It is still incredibly viable and one of the best guns in the game still. So we'll be having a look at that a little bit later. Now, handguns, they also got nerfed to oblivion. Now, it didn't really catch on too much, but the Akimbo Renettis were completely broken, so much so that they actually got banned from the Optic 200k this week because they're just like instant deleting people up close. But max damage reduced from 33 down to 22. Don't worry about them too much. Don't have them in your loadout if you do already. Take them out, put an SMG in instead. Marksman rifles, the DM56 got obliterated. Max damage reduced from 50 down to 41, so you can no longer get those 6 bullet kills. The minimum damage reduced to 37 from 39 as well. What most people are happy about though is the Interceptor has had that headshot multiplier reduced, so you can no longer 2-shot kill an opponent, which was ridiculous. It was like a flashback to the DRMR meta back from Verdansk, but they also then hit the Enforcer, which wasn't getting used, but I think people would have just swapped from the Interceptor to the Enforcer. But they did miss out on one marksman rifle that I don't understand how it's not got touched, but it is completely and utterly broken, which we'll be checking out a little bit later on in the video. But the TYR pistols akimbo also got nerfed, and the Haymaker shotgun got hit pretty hard. I don't think that had caught on too much already, but it was a pretty broken shotgun up close. And then the submachine guns, the only MW2 gun that was in the game's meta, the Fennec 45, also had its max damage reduced, headshot multiplier reduced, and a lower torso multiplier reduced, which is kind of sad because there's no MW2 guns in the meta. But let's take a look at the top 5 loadouts that you need to be using right now. Kicking off with one that is going to be pretty familiar to you. We've still got that Bas-B battle rifle in there, which I'm so happy about because it's like, I love this gun. It's so much fun to use. It's incredibly versatile as well. The build that you've got, Spirit Fire Suppressor, the Bruin Venom Long Barrel for that bullet velocity range, the Bruin Heavy Support, which I think is kind of becoming unified across every long-range weapon in the game at the moment. If you're using a long-range automatic weapon, the Bruin Heavy Support grip goes onto it. So a little thing that you might want to do is add it to your favorites. You can use that sort of with the right trigger, so you don't then have to go scrolling through the 51 other underbarrels. It's a big recommendation. People aren't using their favorites enough. Go ahead and make sure you do that. Then got the 45 round mag and the Choreo Eagle Eye optic. You can change the optic if you want to. That's just my personal preference. I think it's the best one in the game. And then the best SMG in the game since the nerf to the Fennec, the WSP Swarm, or what I like to call it, the MW3 or Warzone 3, whatever you want to call it. Mac 10. This thing is ridiculous. You've got the Lucreta compensator there to eliminate that horizontal recoil. You've got the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel for that bullet velocity and range, aiming out of sway, gun kick control, recoil control. The Bruin Heavy Support, surprise, surprise, it goes on a lot of weapons. The 50 round mag, and then the FSS Fortress Heavy Stock just to eliminate that recoil. And if I go into the firing range and show you this, it's so mobile and fun to use. And that iron sight is like the season 1 Gallantry Mac 10 blueprint. So if you played back then, you're going to recognize this. Let me know in the comments if you did. Let's move on to our second loadout. I think a lot of people will have these guns set up already. What you will not have set up is the Pulemyot 762. This is arguably the meta LMG in the game right now, and especially after those nerfs to the DG and the Interceptor, you're going to start seeing this a lot more. Got the Spirit Fire Suppressor on there. You've then got the Jack Annihilator long barrel, but the reason you're able to use this is because of the conversion kit. This is what transforms the Pulemyot into a meta weapon, because it operates like an assault rifle, even though it has the capacity and damage output of an LMG. So mobility and handling, rate of fire, hip fire and tac stance spread, ADS speed, and then you've got the Commander 15 recoil reduction pad as well, so you can hit those shots at a distance, and the Choreo Eagle Eye. Now, if I quickly show you this, like, this is not the mobility of an LMG. Like, look at this. Like, you can just move, get those shots off, That 100-round mag as well just means that you can suppress opponents. So if you're playing in like trios or quads, you can just hold someone down while the rest of your team push up. Incredibly useful and kind of just fun to use. And then the next SMG that you want to be using, if you don't want to go ahead and use the MAC-10 or the Swarm, you've got the Striker. And this has sort of come to the forefront because of Skullface in the Optic 100k solo YOLOs, winning 2 of the maps using this exact build. You've got the Sonic Suppressor on there for undetectable by radar. So unlike the Swarm, this is going to keep you off radar because you're going to have that undetectable by radar. You don't need that horizontal recoil control in the same way, but it does also increase your bullet velocity and damage range. You've got the Striker Recon Long Barrel, the high grain ammo for the bullet velocity and damage range, the 48-round mag, and then no stock for the mobility. And if I quickly show you this, honestly, it's just so rapid. The one thing you will notice is at a distance, like the wobble makes it pretty hard to kind of hit your targets, but you're never going to be using that at this distance. But up close, the TTK, mobility, you're going to win so many gunfights, and it's just nice to use something different other than the Swarm, and it's a bit more of a slow and steady SMG. So if you don't like the high fire rate and you like a slower paced SMG, this is the one that you're going to want to go for. Our third loadout is the super long range sniper meta loadout. That has not changed with this nerf. The KATT AMR is still number 1. You're gonna have that Nightfall suppressor on there for the bullet velocity, recoil control, and undetectable by radar. Damage range doesn't matter because it's still a one-shot kill at any distance. Zang 34 barrel on there for the bullet velocity. The Spire Point rounds, which were also banned in the Optic 200k, which increases that bullet velocity, which makes this like 1,300 meters a second, this build. So it's like hit scan. It's so easy to hit those shots. And then I go ahead and use the FTAC Locus SP Optic, which gives you this really clean green dot. Makes it so easy to hit your shots. And then we've got the Epithermal Quick Bolt as well for rechambering speed, so you can get more shots off it if you do miss a shot. Then with that, even though the Bas-B got nerfed, I love this close range build. We've got the Crippling Malik Light Barrel, which is undetectable by radar, ADS, sprint to fire, and aim walking speed. Then we've got the SL Skeletal Vertical Grip for ADS, vertical recoil, gun kick control, and sprint to fire speed. 45-round mag, the ST88 grip for that gun kick control and recoil control and firing aim stability, and then no stock for mobility. And if you don't want to use an SMG, I personally find this battle rifle build perfect because it's incredibly mobile, as you can see, but it's got that extra damage range. So if you do body someone, now obviously I don't have the same like weapon swap speeds, but say I just body someone and need to finish someone, this is going to be far more effective at it because it's a battle rifle, even though it's a mobility build. And just if you're burst firing those couple shots, you're going to be able to hit those quite accurately. So great combination. Next, we've got a great LMG. It's a DG58. It's not the burst assault rifle. That's in the bin, but this is a lot of fun. It's got great fire rate, so it's very easy to use. Good mobility, strafe speed mobility, especially if you throw on the Stalker perk. So give it a go if you haven't, but you want the Spirit Fire Suppressor, the Woody Long Barrel, the Bruin Heavy Support Underbarrel, the Choreo Eagle Eye Optic, and the Recoil Reduction Butt Plate as well, just to kind of make sure it's as easy to use as possible. But that high fire rate gives you a big margin for error, so if you've not got the best aim, you're still going to be able to hit those shots and take down your opponent. And then with that, I just use the Swarm. You can use whichever SMG that you would like. So this is the build that I personally went for. And then our final loadout is actually the one that I mentioned earlier. They have nerfed every other marksman rifle, everything else into the ground, but this battle rifle just sort of snuck under the radar because it's fully automatic normally. But if we quickly just go into the firing range with it, and I'll show you. All right, fully automatic, you're a bit like, oh, it's not as good as the Bas-B. Switch it to single fire and then use it like the DM56. Six-shot kill. It still has that 50 damage profile, so you can just take people out at a distance. Same way. Like, it's so easy to use, and like, if you do need to just throw it into full auto for whatever reason, because you can't hit the shots, you can do that. But genuinely, give this a go. It's obscene. Spirit Fire Suppressor, MTZ Clinch Pro Barrel, Choreo Eagle Eye 2.5, the EXF Close Quarters Assault Stock, and then the 30-round mag. Unbelievable. And then I paired that with that close range striker from earlier. But those are the top 5 meta loadouts you want to be using right now. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you find any other weapons, let me know. Subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out in the future. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!